Let me teach you how to turn a tomato plant into a tree. First, go to the market and buy 2 local tomatoes. Cut them in half and use a spoon to scoop out the pulp in the middle. Our goal is to obtain the tomato seeds. Scrape out the seeds and find a small flower pot, filling it with loose, fertile soil. Place the seeds on top. Then cover them with about 1 to 2 centimeters of soil. Finally, water thoroughly and place the pot in a warm area. Before the seeds sprout, keep the soil moist. After about 10 days, the seeds that can germinate will break through the soil and grow into small seedlings, while the seeds that don't germinate will be discarded. Tomato seedlings have a relatively long growing period. I chose to first separate them and transplant them into flower pots for further cultivation. Dig a small hole in the center of the pot and add a bit of bone meal. Bone meal is a phosphorus fertilizer that promotes root growth in seedlings, as long as the roots grow well and establish a solid foundation. The later stage will ensure a good harvest of fruit. There's no more space on the rooftop, so I'll demonstrate on the ground. Draw a circle on the ground and insert a bamboo stick. I found some discarded wire mesh and fixed it around the bamboo stick using zip ties. Wrap a layer of dry straw around it to prevent the soil from spilling out. Place peanut shells at the bottom for air circulation and drainage. Once decomposed, they also become great organic fertilizer. Actually, if we follow this method, we can plant tomatoes on the rooftop garden using a large container or big flower pot. The soil is a mix of native soil, rice, husk, charcoal, coconut coir, and sheep manure, which I prepared myself to create loose, breathable, nutrient-rich soil. Next is the process of building the trellis. Just follow the steps shown in the video. Here's how the tomato seedlings look after 20 days. We invert the flower pot and transplant the seedlings along with their soil and roots. It's best to transplant them in the evening. Place some bone meal around the roots and cover with soil to maximize the fertilizer's effect. Finally, don't forget to water thoroughly to settle the roots. After 35 days, the tomato plants are growing very well. I've tied them to bamboo poles with string to help them grow upwards. Now, let's make a simple fertilizer. Take leftover banana peels or rotten bananas and chop them up, and crush some eggshells. Put them in a container and add water, stirring it well. This mixture provides potassium and calcium, which helps with flowering, fruit retention, and prevents tomato rot. However, be aware that these ingredients haven't been fermented, so bury them farther away from the roots in the soil. After 50 days, the tomatoes have grown onto the trellis, and some flowers have started to bloom. At 65 days, the tomatoes begin to flower abundantly and bear fruit. Tomato pollination is usually not a problem. They are hermaphroditic, meaning both male and female parts are on the same flower, even without bees or insects. Pollination can still happen successfully as long as there's wind. After 85 days, the fruit changes from green to red, which means the tomatoes are ripening. As long as the plants don't wither too early, we can start harvesting in batches and enjoy the fruits of our own labor.